And here we go. Oh, hang on, adjust the mic. Happy Thursday, everyone. I think this is my officially the first stream of the fall. And thanks to everybody who's already tuning in on both Twitch and YouTube. We have Harmless, Dark Dragon, and Koopa Raigo. Yes, Dark Dragon, I'm here, and I'm sorry I misunderstood. I just want to say, yeah, so we're going to do some Wario drawing for a little while, and then in just under 2 hours, the Nintendo Direct starts, and I'm going to live stream my reaction and thoughts to it. And I did read about there have been some accidental leaks. I am aware of 2 things that have been possibly revealed. I am not going to spoil any surprises for those who want to see them. When or if they show up in the Direct, I'll mention, oh, I heard about this, but that's going to be it. I want to go in blind. For people going blind, I want to, if there are other surprises, like especially the last Smash Fighter, I want to go in fresh. Okay, Dark Dragon, you have news about your career. What's going on? I'm excited to hear what have you had any milestones or like made some progress? And hello to Crash Bandicoot, Edward469, greatest time. Anyway, let's open up. So we have 18 volts design here, and the way I've been approaching the Wario designs is to sketch them first because it's a lot quicker and simpler. Just, you get the best basic outline and stuff, and then you get to inking, coloring them in. Sorry, I'm just pulling up some music. You got your first commission. That's awesome, man. Yeah, commissions are like harder than people might expect to get going steadily. I'm coming up on getting ready to try and get some going more steadily, especially since I'm in between jobs. But that's cool. What are you allowed to say? What your commission's of, or is it kind of a private thing? But anyway, either way, that's I'm proud of you, man. All right, let me get to his. So I've inked a lot of 18 volts upper half. Now we're gonna do the legs. I should just do the. I believe I kind of default to line width 6 for all the WarioWare characters. That looks about right. And I'm experimenting a little bit with some stuff here. Normally I've drawn different layers for the arms and such, like one for the upper half and one for the lower half and then one for the hand that I kind of pivot individually. But I found out about deformations, and it kind of handles it for you. And there's definitely some stuff I want to work on, like this. I'm guessing the color will overlap with that, but it looks to work pretty well. So, and of course, you make it look crazy, like he broke his arm. You can see it warping there. And Dark Dragon got $15 and has already started. That's so cool, man. Again, congratulations. I'm so happy that yeah, you gotta always note those firsts. Those firsts are great signs of growth as an artist. So let me get out of the arm and deformation and get back down to drawing that leg. Alright, so let me compare. I want to pull up on my other screen how he looks leg width wise, both in the old design and his gold get together design. One sec. Let's see. Oh, they got a little wider, and I like them a little skinnier in the old design, so I think we'll stick with that. Let me know how the volume balance is. So I've got both backing music and my microphone going. Let's zoom in a bit. Yeah, and I'd recommend following. I would say, because I'm trying to. I think I've literally said for months, oh yeah, I want to make streaming regular, but now I've actually kind of got it narrowed down the days I want to do it. So I'm aiming for Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Other days will be devoted to, off time, private work, or I'm trying to get a part-time job, and I'll tell them those are the days that are best suited. But they'll be split between drawing and doing some gameplay. And I'll do simultaneous streams on YouTube when it's like relevant to the stuff that I'm posting on YouTube. So like Wario and Spacious. But if it's other work or like other games that I'm streaming, because I started playing Kena, Bridge of Spirits. Really cool so far. I only played the first hour and a half, but it's a fun game. That'll be just on Twitch because I don't think there's... One of the important things when you have a YouTube channel you're trying to grow is consistency in like the subject matter that you upload, because that's, if you attract people who subscribe for that, then that's what they'll be wanting to see and not so much other stuff. That's why I don't get as much when I upload in terms of views when I upload like put the podcast like Just Watch Play. But to be honest, that's just the case where that's a personal project I'm fond of, and sometimes there's crossover in the stuff that I bring up, so I'm not concerned with making like subs or money off of the podcast. So I'm like, it's fine. I even did a poll on the YouTube channel, like asking if people want me to stop doing it, and it was pretty overwhelming. No, keep doing it. So, but I would definitely recommend, if you follow this channel, I've never listened to Sketch Watch Play. Give it a listen if you want to get a better idea of like the kind of stuff that I'm into, including games and Wario game Wario, har har. But you might discover some cool stuff. Sometimes I try and pick stuff that's not very well known, or even like foreign movies, like some anime and stuff like that. We've had some neat people on, a lot of personal friends and family. But one cool one is Alan Denton, who was one of the head story guys on the Sonic Boom cartoon. We talked a little bit about that, but our main talk with him was The Simpsons, just an overview of like kind of that golden age. That was a lot of fun. Siamese Cat, welcome. I agree, WarioWare, it's totally awesome. And you're saying you should do 9-volt. You know what? Let me see if he's in the... I have just about finished 9-volt's design in this. The main thing I need to go back and add is his tufts of hair with kind of the star shape, with his side locks that are like behind the headphones that you can see. I definitely want to try doing some fan art of... I think Get It Together's intro is the first time we saw a hatless 9-volt when he's going to bed. He's got like that bushy mop of hair, and I thought that was very cute, so I'd like to try more with that. So let's draw the foot as a separate layer, so it should be anchored to the leg layer when we move it, and do the distortion with the... hang on a second, I'm already forgetting the name of, I think deformer. Yeah, deformer, but it won't warp the foot. I'm getting very technical, I know, but then just clam up and let the music do the talking a bit. But as always, I'll always pay attention to the chat. Siamese Cat asks, what do you think of the best WarioWare game is? And that's a toughie. I'm very partial to like... I know the one that has the most impact on me, and like I would put in my top 10 game list, is the original. Simply because of the fact that I hadn't really seen anything like it back then. It was kind of out of the blue, and I didn't expect it to hook me so much. So for sentimental reasons, I'd include the first, even though I think it's the most, nowadays it's probably like the most basic. I think a lot of people value Twisted. I haven't revisited Twisted as much as other games because of the first couple of those two, like the two GBA and 3D and not 3DS, DS ones. It never got a re-release. I have touched on my 3DS, and I got the original on Wii U, but I think because of Twisted's unique control scheme, and I guess Nintendo just not being interested in like emulating it, it's never been re-released outside of the Game Boy. And even if you want to emulate it, you have to... people have had to hack it to like emulate the controls with a joystick and stuff. But Smooth Moves is another one for me that I think is one of the best. I think it was cool to see the visuals get an upgrade, because that was the first main entry made for the ground up for a home system. And hang on a second, let me keep going with these layers. 18-volt leg back. And both gold and... a DIY was another favorite of mine, but I do count it as more of a spin-off, since the impetus wasn't it had some built-in games in it, micro games in it that were exclusive, but it wasn't like because the one big drawback to how that game played was that it was touch controls only, no buttons. So if you were just playing it for the built-in micro games, it would feel like a step back from touch. But I loved the capabilities of it. That's one of the games that I just really wish would get a sequel. I think it would blossom on the Switch, but I know that DIY kind of flopped when in sales-wise, so I don't know how likely they are to try and bring it back. But I don't know if people have read about how well Get It Together is doing gangbusters. It has been #1 selling game in several countries. It beat out like Tales of Arise. I think I'm trying to remember one other AAA game that came out at the same time, but like it's one of the heights of the series sales wise, and I'm very excited for what that could mean for the future because I need to miss foot back. I'm hoping it will mean like less time between new entries, and the thing I want for the series most, besides to get a steady flow of entries going again, like in the DS GBA weekdays, is I would love more representation for the series and its characters outside the game itself, like merch, comics, and cartoons. I think the big dream for me would be seeing them in playable in Smash or like the Mario sports games, kart parties. I really want to kind of be accepted for Nintendo to like accept the characters outside of their own series, because I still think they're like one of the most diverse and fun bunch of characters they ever come up with, and it's like half the charm for me is both the microgame concept itself and this like great shell you got surrounding it with the characters. Okay, let me check the comments again. Dark Dragon, yes, I did talk about your commission. You might have not heard it when I apologize if you missed that, but I'm really proud of you, man. That's such a great step, and commissions are, for those who aren't artists, commissions aren't as easy to get going as you might think. So I'm really proud that that Dragon, you were able to get paid for it. You've started work on it. I hope it's a very exciting feeling when that stuff happens. And it also allows you to stretch your flexibility as a artist more, because you draw characters and stuff you might not have otherwise. So it's great learning. And Siamese Cat says, would you recommend Getting Touched? Yeah, I would. You can probably get it if you have a DS or 3DS. You can probably get it not super expensive. I'm sure it's a Nintendo game, so it's not going to be like dirt cheap, because for whatever that reason is. But and you can also get it on the Wii U Virtual Console. If you have a Wii U, you can get it on there for like $10 or something like that, like something very affordable. And it plays just fine. I got on that out of curiosity. Yeah, Touch is a very, very solid entry. It also, I'm trying to remember, it was the debut of Ashley and Mike. Siamese Cat, I would love to see an official WarioWare cartoons. There's so many characters with different traits. Dude, I hear you. I think my dream would be an anime, both because to be authentic to. Well, the more I think about it, the more like a modern cartoon humor style, like something like, I'm trying to think of really crazy ones, like Gumball gets pretty out there. I feel like I watched some other stuff recently that I feel like it wouldn't be as suited for like those stuff that's pure wit, like wittiness, like DuckTales. But something that's more out there experimental, like Gumball, is a good template. And I feel like Japanese anime comedies haven't been. I kind of missed the flair they had in the 2000s, where they were willing to just like go balls to the wall. Like the big three for me are Bobo, Excel Saga, and Cromartie High School. And there probably is some other stuff out like that in modern days that I'm just not aware of, because they didn't catch on as much in the States. I probably just need to do some digging and asking around, like what are some good modern anime comedies. I have been watching a one second, let me figure out. Let's get some deformation going and linking up for. Actually, we can do some coloring too. But no, I'm getting distracted. Let us first. Well, yeah, let's do coloring first. The nice thing about importing the official art into Toon Boom is getting to use the eyedropper and directly copy the colors. And I'm trying to figure out. Let me see how these two, the dark green compares to that, and how it compares. So they darkened his color, his green for gold and stuff. Okay, no, let's go for the The old one's really bright, so let's go for the shadow of the original, 'cause that's kind of like a midpoint in between. And then let's... copy some other colors. I almost went copy some other colors. I think I've talked about on the stream being really into the videos or clips of Corona Inugami, the VTuber. She played that game part-time UFO, and she was saying there's a level where she was grabbing like actual like fruits and vegetables, and she was saying each name in English. She kept going pineapple, pineapple, and it kept falling over, like accidentally ending the level. I heard she'd scream and go like, "I was betrayed by." No, the video says like Corona betrayed by pineapple, and so I've just been walking around the home going, "A pineapple, a pineapple." Oh, I'm torn between. I think I'll do the red and greens as to. Let's do the more vivid hair color. Let me just save periodically. And hello to, should I call you Jason or Buzzy Cranium Command, the real one? Because Jason's easier to say. Okay, so all right. Okay, so go by Buzzy. Cool. Thanks for joining the stream. How are you doing? All right, let me just real quick. Wait, did I draw that as white? Oh, let's get rid of the color. Oh, not that, just the color. All right, so white first. So what are people's, I'm curious, since we're going to be watching the Nintendo Direct in about an hour and a half, what are people's hopes and predictions for the, for either the stream itself, and especially the, we're probably going to get the last Smash character announcement. And if you have read about the stuff that's been leaked, please don't mention that. I read about 2 possible announcements, and I am not going to spoil that for people. I just joined. Okay. Oh, yeah. You just joined. Are you a subscriber? Did you find me in like search results? I'm always curious how people find the channel. And let me just quickly draw up these stripes and erase a little bit. Oh, now Dragon, you're doing some figure collecting. That's cool. I did a bit of that when I was in high school. I'm trying to remember. There was some Pokemon, there was some Sonic, there was some Gundam, and there was, Invader Zim and Nightmare Before Christmas, because those were 2 of my high school obsessions. Sub to you. Thanks, Buzzy. Alright, save. And let's test out to do this parent peg. I'm getting to the boring technical part. And now let's apply this. Alright, so one there. About here's where his neck is, not his neck, his knee would be. Then we do it down here. Yes, shrink that. Alright, so let's try moving that around. Okay, so I'd have to figure out how to... I'll need to ask people about how you get rid of that, like, sort of line overlap there. Dark Dragon, yep, homework's important, but thanks for joining the stream. You can check back later, I'll have it. It should be publicly archived for a few days with the rest of the drawing and the direct reactions. Alright, then put the foot... So let's try... Alright, yep, so it'll move like that, but it won't warp the foot. That's good. Alright, so close that up a bit. Yeah, let's see how that looks. Alright. Save. Alright, let's get to doing his... hide those deformations. Let's get to doing his back arm. Trying to see if I should... No, I'm not just going to copy this. I want it to be have it kind of slant a different way. I almost said slope. Oh, one second. I'm getting a text. Arthur LX, welcome. Let's see. Okay. No, I was just getting some text from my parents. They're actually just flying back from... They've been in Italy for the past 2 or so weeks. That's kind of been a dream of my mom's because she's part Italian. Her grandparents immigrated from Sicily down there. And so they've been wanting to... They waited until they were vaccinated and it felt like the right time. But it sounds like it was a pretty safe trip and... They sent some great pictures, so I'm happy for them. Anyway, let's just check something about his hand. Okay. Let's see. Zig Audrey. Oh my gosh, you are so right about 18 Volt. You can find pictures of them and like especially touched and twisted and smooth moves. I think it's part of the joke. 18 Volt is like the size of an adult, but he is... There's nothing that is contradicting that he's a 4th grader or 9 years old. So I'm just like, he's an early bloomer. He's a naturally tall kid. Don't worry about it. And I just love that there isn't a logical explanation for... I hope there's never a logical explanation for why he's so big. I just think it's funny that... I guess the closest they come to it is in Gold when he beats 13 Amp in the rap battle. And she seems surprised when he's like, I'm in 4th grade. But that's all that there needs to be. Glasstar, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. Hope you're enjoying it. So I was saying earlier, some people left. What are people hoping for from the Smash Direct? Not Smash Direct, the Nintendo Direct. Because I say Smash Direct because we're probably going to get our final Smash DLC character. They confirmed this is the last one. There's not going to be a third wave, and they've been supporting the game for 3 years, so I'm not surprised. But like, who are you hoping to see for the fighter, and what announcements are you hoping in terms of new games or new content for existing games like DLC? And Zig Audrey, WarioWare tuned. Yeah, I'm so sorry that there was not much to it for the past decade. I was busy with real life, and I think there was also the fact that there was kind of a drought in new releases between. It was like just after DIY, there was just Game and Wario, and that was it for like 6 years until Gold happened. And then that kind of reignited my fandom, so I went and finished the latest episode, and I was writing the script for the next one and redoing all the characters because my art and software skills have improved a lot. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it, and thanks for tuning in. Yeah, this is going to be 18 Volt's new design for future episodes. I might make his torso a little wider. I might do that before I add color and stuff, because he's a hefty boy. He's a chunky boy. Let's see. Does he have the? I'm looking at my other monitor. Does he have? I'm trying to find a good side angle. Are the stripes very visible? I guess slightly. You know, I'm gonna the white stripes. I saw some people point out it's the same. It must be a thing in Japan because Gohan in Dragon Ball when he grows up wears the same. It must be like gym wear or something. That's my guess, at least, because I think I've seen anime where like gym teachers wear it too. But they have the students just wear like tees and shorts. So, Japan. One sec, more text. Let's see. Okay. Just family talking about they're doing 2 flights for their my family. My parents are doing 2 flights to get back to East Coast after their Italy trip, so they're halfway there. It's getting really good. Thank you, Arthur. Yeah, why do you all have good drawing software? A lot of artists use Sai. I'm jealous. I'll be upfront with you, Zig. One I can recommend that won't cost you an arm and a leg. Right now, I'm not using it right now, but I use for still drawings nowadays. I switched from Photoshop to Clip Studio Paint, which you can do a one-time purchase of for, I think the vanilla version is like $40 or something, but it often goes on sale, as does the Pro version. This I'm using here because I originally used Flash for the old WarioWare tunes. I definitely for the last one I switched to Toon Boom, which is kind of a contemporary to Flash, similar idea of vector animation, but a lot more robust in terms of like deformation and stuff. I've been learning it for years. I'm still learning new features about it. The thing about Toon Boom is it's powerful, but there's a learning curve, and it is expensive. I could, if I was loaded, spend like $2,000 for a lifetime permanent license, but I do not have that kind of spare money. So I am forced to pay $100 a month subscription, and that's one of the reasons I'm broke. But, you know, you suffer for your art. Or I guess my wallet suffers for my art, if we're being real. Anyway. I'm just thinking about, I still love pointing out to people who the current WarioWare voice cast is also voiced. And I think the one that like tripped me up the most, I maybe like that's just crazy, is that 9-volt is Clementine from the Telltale Walking Dead. But the one I found out, I was like, you know what? I can hear it. So I'm just going to check these family texts again. There's a lot of them. I'm just telling them to get some plenty of rest because when they get home, because they're doing a lot of flying, they've done a lot of traveling. Zig used to have TV Paint animation software. Some videos can be uploaded with it. Shame. I haven't used TV Paint, but one of my best friends, Chris Wade, who's been on the Sketchbook Play podcast a bunch, he's really active on Twitter too. He switched to primarily using TV Paint for his like passion project featurette he's making, and he's been very pleased with it. So maybe there are different tiers in terms of getting videos to upload with it, but I'm not an expert. I'm not even familiar with it, so I can't attest to its benefits and drawbacks. All right, am I going to make that arm a little wider? Let's draw it first. Let's see. So what are people hoping for the Direct? I guess the main thing on my mind is the Smash announcement, because it just feels like a given, and it's just kind of a bittersweet special one because it's the last one. And I like to be honest, none of the I think I've only had one Smash Ultimate DLC character. Yeah, even across Smash 4, there was only one DLC character I got really hyped for, and that was Banjo, because Banjo-Kazooie means a lot to my childhood, and they were people I'd hoped for a while, but didn't think would make it. I think if we're speaking to the second Fighters Pass so far, my favorite has actually turned out to be from someone who's the source material I just have no interest in. I think Steve has been a really fun addition. He's just I also like when a pick is really out there. Like, I was never asking put Duck Hunt in the game, but when I saw it, I was like, okay, that's really cool. And when I tried out, both when I saw how Steve played and then when I tried it myself, I was like, this is interesting. So. But I still have a lot of characters who I want to get in, but I don't think will. I think if we're talking third-party characters, I would still love to see Rayman. I know he hasn't had a game lately, but neither has Banjo, and that would be a nice nod to... People have also wanted Crash Bandicoot or Spyro. Those would be really cool. I would love another, Western platformer character. I hope it's not another... I hope it's not another fighting game character. We've got a lot of those. We've gotten Kazuya. We've gotten Terry. Previously Ken and Ryu. There's a lot of good representation there, I'd say, at this point. I've seen people point out that hopefully it's not another Pokemon or Fire Emblem character. I don't think Pokemon has had a DLC newcomer, but there's a lot of them. And, Fire Emblem has had not one so far this wave, but they had Byleth last time, they had Corrin the first time, and they had newcomers in both 4 and Smash. We don't need any more of that, and I say that as a Fire Emblem fan. I think a lot of people are wondering about Waluigi. I'd be curious if they found I think it'd be neat to have his moves represent stuff like Mario Party and the sports games. As we don't really have anyone who goes that hard into that. Even Daisy, she's just a Peach clone. So, Arthur's talking about Sans and Smash. Yeah, that was probably the most hype for a Mii costume, and I've seen a video of the Nintendo New York store. Crowds would gather, pre-COVID, crowds would gather to watch Nintendo Directs and freak out. And the Smash newcomers were always a lot of fun for that. And you can see a bunch of them, when Sans pops up, a bunch of them are jumping up and down, hugging each other. Me, I'm not saying I never played it. Undertale's a fantastic game, but I still need to beat it on. I beat it on neutral. I need to go back and do a perfect pacifist to get a true ending. And after that is when I'll start playing Deltarune. But I'm tempted to wait for Deltarune until all the chapters are out, because I'm sure I'll get cliffhangers. But at the same time, I'd probably, if I waited, I'd likely get spoiled on stuff. And I was lucky to not really be spoiled on Undertale. Okay, here's the thing. I need to make this bigger. Compare it to the... Oh, hang on. There we go. If they add Crash or Smash, that'd be so cool. Yeah, Crash would be fun. I know people point out it would be a little awkward right now because of all the shit going on with Activision Blizzard. Same with I think Tracer would be cool, like an Overwatch character. I don't know. I think I'd be able to separate the two for the time being. Especially because it sounds as if it's mostly more the higher ups at being scummy than most of the employees. And Zig Audrey, Smash Brothers used to be a technical fighting game. Now they put in front fan service, a lot of characters. I'm guessing. If you play Smash, you're more about Melee because that's the really technical one. Then Brawl was less that, and I guess 4 and Ultimate are kind of in between, but nothing for like hardcore Smash players compared to Melee. But for me, I'm like, it's just hard to go back at this point when there's so many more characters and levels and stuff, and more people playing online and stuff. I kind of want to be up to date there, and I'm also not as technical about it. I can never be a pro, so I'm just like, I know characters I'm good with, but yes. And welcome Cuba Raguel, the return. It's Cuba Raguel, the sequel. Yeah, Cuba, we're talking about the direct and Smash predictions or wants, but I'm kind of assuming it's gonna be another one like at most like okay maybe like I was with Kazuya like because I saw Kazuya and I was like oh okay cool because I actually have played Tekken, both the original. I played 1, 2, 3, and 5, especially 3 and 5. So I the moment I saw the cliff, I realized this was a clever trailer. The moment I saw that shadowy figure walking up with Ganondorf to the cliff, I was like, oh, I know who that is. But I guess I also, like many, thought... Because I think people were more requesting Heihachi, which is interesting because he ended up being like a stage element for Kazuya rather than a playable character. Imagine Ezio. Man, Ezio would be cool. Like if I had to pick a Ubisoft ref, I'd go for Rayman in a heartbeat, but... Yeah, I'm an Assassin's Creed fan too, and Ezio means a lot to me and a lot of people, so... I think they just had to figure out how to do his moves without coming off as too violent. Like, obviously there would be no blood. But, like, he's all about the stabbing, and, like, not swords, too, like, up close and personal with a hidden blade, so they'd have to... But they could also have him, like, do some like, the smoke bombs, or, like, throwing money, like make full use of his history. Or maybe... And his final smash could be that thing from Brotherhood, and I think it was in Revelations, where he would you had that meter, a special meter. You could point. He would do a signal, and then like other AI assassins would swoop in and take out the guy for you. So he could throw in. They could do that, but have be like Mega Man's final smash or Heroes, where it's a bunch of other Assassin's Creed protagonists. You get like Altair and Edward, Connor. Who's the most popular new one? Probably Edward. Or I'd like Bayek, not Balak. So yeah, who maybe have his Eagle? Maybe Eagle Vision could be incorporated into the moveset somehow. Yeah, I would totally be for Ezio or Assassin's Creed getting some representation, especially because some entries have been on the Switch and Wii U at this point. And Zig Augury is saying the GameCube controller is more technical compared to the Wii, definitely to the Wii remote, yes, and Switch controller. That's why the GameCube is the most interesting creative game library. We don't have this today. I love the GameCube, but I'm very nostalgic for the PS2, like third-party stuff in terms of creativity. I feel like that kind of died out in the HD era, but thankfully it's a little bit more alive with indie games. Oh yeah, and happy birthday to Inanimate Pony, and thanks for joining the stream. Oh, 1 second. Disdained family texts. Okay. Let's get back to old 18 volt. Okay, I do need to draw some light sort of lines on bought Rainbow Six a couple of days ago now. Oh, that's cool. I haven't actually played Rainbow Six, but how are you liking Siege? I haven't seen how the well, Siege isn't that recent, actually. That's Extraction's the one that's coming out this year, and I don't think that's out yet. But Siege, I feel like it was pretty popular, and they added a lot to it over time. So I hope you've been enjoying it. PS1 Japanese games are very creative, it's work time fun, and I have heard of work time fun. A lot of no RPG. Have you ever played? There's a video showing 100 Japanese PS1 games. Z Gardner, have you ever played? I think it's called Incredible Crisis. I got that like a clearance years ago and played it on my. It's a PS1 game. I played on PS2. It's a little WarioWare-ish because it's a bunch of mini games connected by a narrative, and it's just this crazy day in the life of like your average Japanese family, but it's like outrunning a boulder and stuff like that, like falling, like running down the street. It's really silly. I like the silliness. And Siege is pretty fun. That's cool. Maybe I'll look into it. Especially, I would love if it got added to. I'm subscribed to both BS Plus and now Xbox Game Pass. So, the chances of me trying a game are much higher if it goes up on either of those. I know I'm going to at least rent it, but I've been reading about. There are rumors that Nickelodeon All Stars Brawl will get added on PS Plus, and I would be happy to. Because I don't know if it's in my budget to buy it, even if I really like it. But I'm definitely going to rent it. Anyway, let's color these arms. You might hear my bird in the background. I brought him multiple times, but I have this little parrot, and he mostly lives with my parents, but when they go out of town, I bird sit him. So that's what's going on right now. Never heard of it. The closest WarioWare-like game I know is Bishi Bashi. Ooh, Bishi Bashi. That name sounds familiar, but I don't know if I don't think I've played it. I do wonder, if there are interviews out there saying what the inspiration for WarioWare was, because there's enough of a history of wacky Japanese games in the 90s and 2000s that there has to be something that they drew from. I do know that it originally was going to be a new IP, and maybe that's part of why the characters are so isolated just to it. But I think Nintendo insisted, give it a recognizable face so more people will be enticed to it, and that's why we got Wario in this Mario connection. And then I have a few PS1 games like Yu-Gi-Oh! Okay, I have not played. I'm not a Yu-Gi-Oh! Expert. So I haven't played any games. I think I've seen a few episodes of the original anime. Most of my knowledge comes from I watched the first 2 arcs of Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge, so I can certainly name a lot of the characters, but I couldn't give you an accurate story stuff. Gotta go after my phone now. No problem, Arthur. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, let me find. I gotta add the deformation. Bye. And Zig Audrey says the oldest WarioWare-like game is Tantar, made by Sega. It used the anti art style from Dance Brothers. Oh, that's cool. I'll have to look that up. Oh, and Scuba says if any Siege operator were to be in Smash, it would have to be Sledge. Yeah, that would be a Swerve Rainbow Six character. But we got Snake in, so never say never. But yeah, I think if we got Ubisoft, I would be most happy for Rayman, and then the second place most excited would be Ezio. And the thing for me is oh, hang on. Okay, I need to adjust the node view. This is getting really tight, but I want the hand to be, even though it's connected to the arm, I want it to be displayed in front of the arm. Okay, so we have the hand there and arm there, so I just move it one up. Let's see. Okay, cool. That did it. But yeah, what are if we're speaking? Sledge is iconic. He also fits the Smash team with his hammer. Yeah, having a melee weapon certainly helps. And if he's an iconic Rainbow Six character, then if they were going to do one from that franchise, he'd be one of the best fits. Probably certainly most contemporary too. Kind of like how they went with Joker and Hero over older Persona and Dragon Age characters. Let's see. It's a tree to animate the character. Oh, let me explain this. This is a thing exclusive to Toon Boom's, the premium kind that I use. It's called the node view, and you can, it's kind of, you can make it like this tree view. It's like a hierarchy of all the character layers and additional effects you can add. You can do a lot of behind-the-scenes tweaking and effects work that you couldn't do just by drawing it. So it's very useful, and I still have a lot to learn about. I don't think I've even scratched the surface of all the features it can do, but I'm going to more with future Wario and Spacious and short animations. But let's see, we've got, okay, that arm's done. So now let's get to torso. I think I said I want it to be a bit wider. But the middle's fine, so we're just going to select the kind of edges. Also, fun fact, I'm sure I've brought it, but I think one of the funny bit of WarioWare casting is that actually maybe it's fine as is, but 18 Volt is voiced by Alistair from Has Been Hotel, which I still need to watch. I've only seen clips of, and I've watched one episode. I watched the spring break episode of Hell of a Boss. I really liked it, but I need to sit down a marathon all but sometime. Who's your favorite WarioWare character? I have 4. Actually, no, I have 5 as of gold. So originally, my top 4 were I love Krygor, just because he's so weird. Orbulon, I think it's a unique alien design. I love cute stuff like his love of burgers and Earth culture. Cat and Ann are really fun. I think it's a really fun take on the ninja like archetype. And I love stuff like how they're kind of like palette swapped with like their clothing colors. And as of gold, now Franck is one of my favorites because I never assumed he never had personality before. He was just like this gag character that popped up from my games with this weird Lego design. So it was just like, okay, it's Franck. And then like you get to gold and he's like, oh, I'm no pet. It's not as if you own me. And he's just this suave British old man. And I don't know, something about that which just made me like, I love him. I love him now. He didn't get any dialogue in Get It Together, unfortunately, but he does pop up in a couple of micro games and 9 Volt's intro. Let me get rid of that. Okay, so let's take care of the pelvis, the old crotch. That reminds me of how when I watched, if anybody's watched, remember the grandma videos, I showed her The Hobbit. We didn't get to Lord of the Rings, she passed away, unfortunately, but when Gollum was popping in the later scenes, she was like, oh, here's the old creep. And I'm like, he's not Gollum anymore, he's the old creep. Let's see, no one other than Sledge makes sense. Thatcher, no one uses electricity in Pikachu uses electricity in Smash. Smoke, as much as I love Miss Gash, isn't good enough. Chanka, maybe. No, the other two maybe, but Pikachu has used electricity the whole series, both as melee and projectile. And I might be forgetting somebody else too. I think, oh, Robin. Robin can cast a lightning spell. So you know, there's definitely room for electricity in Smash. Oh, let me add the yellow. And the red from his glasses. I still need to draw those. Have you ever played Pikmin? Yes, I've played all 3, though I didn't beat 3. That's a good series. I hope they make a one for the Switch. I feel like we're due. I know it's one that means a lot to Miyamoto. I think it's so cute that it was inspired. He got the idea for it from gardening. Main series. It is a fun one, yeah. I still need to. I should replay 1 and 2 sometime, and I'd probably just splurge and pick up 3 Deluxe, even though I have 3 in my Wii. 3. Well, my Wii U's packed in my closet because most of the stuff that I like on it is on Switch. I'm trying to 100% Pikmin 2. Ooh, that could be challenging, especially 2 was the most challenging for me because of those kind of multi-floor dungeons. Because you there was no breaks, there was no saving for the most part. So like if you want to get everything, you had to get it all done right in one go. So I remember it was hard to repopulate your Pikmin there as well. But yeah, good luck. Are you playing on GameCube or Wii? Wistful Wilds caves as hell. Yeah, it's been so long. I played Pikmin 2 when it first came out, so it's hard to have concrete memories about it, but I believe you. What are the gaps? What's missing here? Oh, I need to get this out a little more. Oh, that's right. I need to. That's it. Playing on a Wii, cool. And you're doing a Thatcher quote. That's cool. Thatcher turns off the electricity. So is he more about electricity, or is that like an optional thing? Because I'm speaking as someone who has no familiarity with Rainbow Six. Okay, you know what? I think we're good with 18 volts for now, so let's load up another character. One second, guys. My tablet's slow, but here we go. It's Lulu. Let me check the chat. So I did a little getting ready beforehand where I scanned her sketch and then imported some game images to get the colors and shapes right. Let's see. I love when Krygor used to have a robotic voice reflecting the fact that he's a cyborg. Yeah, actually, I think one of my only... It's not the acting, but like the sound, like the voice sounding that I don't like in the new WarioWare voices is Krygor, because it's more typical, crazy, wacky scientist, like that we've heard a million times. But in the old games, it was this deep voice. Of course, so excellent, yes. And I don't know. I found that like I wouldn't expect that voice to come out of him, but I think that just made it funnier to me and made it like because he's just such a weird character overall. So I was a little bummed that they gave him now he has a much more generic voice, though no shade at it's Kyle Hebert voicing him, who's done Gohan, Kamina, and a lot of cool characters, and he also voices Dribble, and I think his Dribble voice is wonderful. Sorry, let me bring some stuff up on my other screen. All right, Pikmin is one of those franchises like Wario that really needs a lot more attention. Yeah, I think part of the problem is it's had such gaps. It was a long time between 2 and 3, and then there was, Pikmin, which I never even played because I didn't hear good things, and there's been nothing since. I think they've teased that they're making a 4th, and I hope it's in development and we hear something soon, but 3 had a long wait too, where they said a long time before it was revealed and released. Yeah, we're making Pikmin 3, but just wait. Lulu look a female version of 9 Volt. They're kids with the big... They have the same eyebrows. 9 Volt's current design and Lulu. I like the fact that Lulu has those bushy eyebrows. I think it's... Because she always strikes me as in Gold as more of a tomboy, even though she dresses like the bow in the dress and stuff. And I think having the thick eyebrows help drive that home and gives her a little... In the Japanese version... Yes, I watched the Japanese cutscenes in Japan. Krygor still sounds like in tune with the old games. So I just think the English casting director had something else in mind. So, but what you gonna do? All right, so let's start with... We'll do both her face and her hair, and I'm probably going to shrink down like her jaw here because it's rounder in the game. So I'm probably I'll draw it as I sketch it first, then I'll shrink it. Also remember Orbulon had a synthesizer voice. Yeah, Orbulon's old voice is like impossible to do on your own because there was some heavy effects work done to it, and granted, it's still the current voice is still he does a high-pitched voice like this, and then they like double it and add like a deeper warbled voice behind it to give it like a more otherworldly sound, and I think that works too. It would be, and I granted, like when you had like fully voiced cutscenes, it would be very hard to understand him in the old voice without subtitles. So I think that might just be like a necessary change if you want the characters to be more vocal. That's also an actor I like, Robbie Damon. He's Prompto in Final Fantasy 15, and he does a lot of anime and cartoons as well. I want to say he's Spider-Man, the most recent TV cartoon. Alright, so do that, and you know what? I'm probably going to give that lock of hair its own layer so it can move a little bit, like flop around when she rotates her head. Oh, oops. Ooh, guys, 1 hour till the direct. That's going to be exciting. I'll probably load it up like 5 minutes before it starts, and we'll just be chatting and looking at the screen. What do you think the quirkiest WarioWare minigame is? Do you mean micro games? Because man, that's hard. I think for me, sometimes it's the ones that make a bigger impact are can be more about the visuals than how it plays. I feel like saying the nose game is way too like Gold Digger is way too obvious and cliched. I know that one that struck with me in Get It Together is because I can't tell you I'm not a big enough fanboy. Well, I'm a huge WarioWare fan, but I don't take the time to memorize the names of all the micro games. So I just describe them usually. I think Gold Digger is one of the exceptions, and the 9-volt ones because they're just the name of whatever Nintendo game he's using. But there's a game in Get It Together where you have a bunch of standees of like muscular Warios. You're supposed to knock them all over like dominoes, and when you do a big like in the background, a big like muscular pretty boy Wario in a Speedo pops up, and like you don't forget an image like that. You don't forget an image of a sexy Wario. Oh, let me zoom out so I can see how she looks from the side. Okay. So I'm going to have the hair jut out a little bit here. And how many? Alright. I'm going to do 4. This is kind of the way I draw the top locks for Cat as well. So that's going to carry over. Oh, I love the drinking micro game, especially that character, that weird another character with big eyebrows. He shows up for another micro. Get It Together has a couple returning characters. I know there's one where you make you adjust some pipes to make water spill out, and then like it's the one where you're like this cartoony baby thing that like you drag its tongue around to grab all these candies, and so it comes over and drinks the water. And then there's another one where you have to blend fruits in a glass to make a smoothie. And the glass gets grabbed by that drinking guy with the big lips and bushy eyebrows. I always think it's cool when they do callbacks like that. All right, let's see. Now the hair. I'm trying to think. I feel like I know she has it like it juts out more there, but I might go more like this because I think Lulu appears more in her front view in cutscenes. My favorite micro games are when they use photos. Yeah, when they incorporate real life stuff, it throws you off. It's such a nice surprise. I remember the first one I did that was Krygor's theme in the first game. So thank Krygor for inventing that. Also, I remember I read recently that people guessed that Krygor's name was inspired by cryogenics, and I'm like, why did I not? I thought I just made up a word. Why did I just put that together? Let me see. Okay. Okay, that's pretty good. I do need to move this up a bit. The most annoying character plays and get. Oh, that's easy for me. It's Cat and Anna. I know a lot of people say 9-volt. 9-volt is tricky, but I think it's such a unique play style. It makes it all time and based since you're not directly moving him around with the stick. But Cat and Anna, because they're mixing both real-time input and this automated bouncy up and down, and also only projectiles in one direction, it's so easy to screw up because you have to juggle all these different aspects of them at once, and it's just not convenient at all. So, Cat and Anna by a mile for me. Which sucks because they're some of my favorites, but, can't win them all. Okay, so now let's shrink the jaw a little bit. Oh, I do think, because Lulu's not like an all-time favorite for me, but I do really like her, the aspect that they double down on and Get It Together, that she has a crush on Cricket. I think that's funny. It's definitely funny in Gold, where she's like dreamily like grabbing him, like, yeah, nice horsey. I mean, if I'm getting real, I've seen like there are a lot of Cricket like fangirls on Twitter. And they're like it's like if you're a guy, you're into Mona. If you like women, you're into Mona. If you like, or maybe Ashley, if you're into guys, you like Cricket. for Penny with brown or blue eyes. You know what? I prefer Penny's older design, but I like the blue eyes that she has now. Okay, let me see how that looks zoomed. Okay, that's fine. Oh, guys, I'm gonna go use the bathroom really quick, so give me like 1 minute. And back. Headphones back on. Alright. Why wear some strange things? Oh, welcome back, Jason. Or Buzzy. Ooh, stir-fried teriyaki. That's delicious. But Kuba asked, why wear some strange things? But what is the most paralysis demon-looking Wario? I don't know which old lady from Smooth Moves, but there's an old man in Smooth Moves who terrified me. It's the one where you're rotating an object to scan at the cash register, like a grocery store, and it's just this creepy old man with creepy lighting who like leans forward and is like, eh. And I noticed they actually, I think when they have that micro gaming gold, they just like straight got rid of him. Like maybe they got complaints. But I don't know. I love the weirdness. All right, before I forget, let me add these locks that she has. Blue lock front. More text. 1 second, guys. Okay. Oh, another relative was texting me. We're gonna go. We're gonna see Shang-Chi on Saturday. Normally, I'm such a Marvel fan. I'd go see it opening weekend. I did with Black Widow, but I've been tight on money. Let me see. Legends character. Man, that's a real possibility, even though I don't think League is on consoles, but it's such a big deal that would be something. Again, that's another franchise I'm not super familiar with. I know Jinx is a very popular character though, so I don't know. Would she be the one who got in? You know what? I need to. Let me type this. Yeah, who would it be? But I need to make this layer go behind, like this part of her hair go behind her head if I want to lock in between the two. In front of this hair, but behind the face. Nope, not that part, just that part. So the lock would be about here. I need to bend it more. Weirdness is the charm of WarioWare. The constant change of art style gives a random and chaotic nature that shows so much personality. Look at the cutscenes from the GameCube. Exactly. WarioWare is... I always like stuff that like exaggerates, because that's creativity. That's something you don't see every day, and WarioWare just goes for it. Okay, I'll move these up. It has to be thicker. Wait, did I add a... Okay, no. Sorry. This. Let's see. Your thoughts on Twitter? What? I... Do you mean like what do I think of Twitter? Or I am on Twitter. I don't... I have some... I've run a couple accounts for it. I use my regular one and my podcast one the least. I mainly use the one for the Wario collab and the blah 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 out of context. Oh no, the whole thing needs to... Oh wait, I'm doing it wrong. It needs to be buffed out more here. Okay, how's that look on its own? What's your opinion on Twitter? I'm not as big on it as I used to be, but not for the same reasons really that you hear people complain about. Because I think I hear most people's problem is if you get vocal, you run into toxicity in terms of like trolls or opposing viewpoints and that sort of stuff. I don't really go for that. I just mainly follow like-minded people who are also artists and actors and creators. For me, it's twofold. I'm very empathetic, so if I see someone who is feeling sad about stuff, whether it be world events or stuff in their own life, I get sad. So that can be tough when taking in a lot of that. So I try, if I get the sense that something bad is happening, like in terms of news or world news, industry news, something, then I gotta log off. I also am very hard on myself as a creator, mainly the fact that even though, yes, I am doing art and voices, I'm not at a point where I'm doing them professionally and making a living off of them. And so if I see a lot where it's people who are, because I do follow a lot of professionals and I'm happy for them, but if I see a lot of that at once, I start negatively comparing myself, and it gets overwhelming. So I have learned to limit my Twitter use for those reasons. I can't speak to how good or bad it is in terms of the toxicity, because I have tried my hardest to avoid that. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that. Because I don't feel like that's the most common reason for limiting Twitter use. I should make this a different color. Wait, is her nose going to be behind an no, it's not. Let's try again. Yeah, she has those freckles, and I'm just adding like 3 of them. Simplify it a bit. Color those the right color later. Just doing this, making it blue to help it stand out again, to help distinguish it from the sketch. Save. Okay, so let me compare. I'm probably gonna need to move her eyes and brows up a bit. That's okay though. I'll make them separate layers, so it'll be easy. do the mouth before I forget. I want to get together gadgets where characters can interact in a photo tool. You know, that kind of stuff. My one big complaint with Get Together is a lack of single-player side content. I think that the resources they had for that went into having more multiplayer modes instead. And the main thing you have to keep you going after single-player wise after you finish the campaign is leveling up the characters and unlocking colors and concept art, which is cool, especially the concept art. That's like a treasure trove for people. I'm actually going to do some fan art based on at least one of those images. I was thinking about doing this stream, but I thought I'd focus on characters. Actually, maybe I will. I still have Clip Studio open, but actually, no, I have another WarioWare drawing I'm working on that I might load up in a bit. But yeah, if they decide to do DLC for Get Together, my main hope is more stuff that can be fully utilized in single player. Because there's no online, and I don't live with anybody, so I'd have to plan like a get together. Thankfully, my brother and I were just talking. He lives nearby, and he's going to get a copy. And he's going to be interested in coming over to my place, and like we might stream his first playthrough, and it'll be my first co-op play. Oh, hang on, I'm getting a call. Let me make sure it's nothing important. Okay, I'm pretty sure it was a telemarketer or a robocall. They just hung up and there was silence. That was a number I didn't recognize either. Okay, let me see how this... Actually, no, let me draw the shapes first, then I'll see how it looks and move everything around. So let's get started on the eyes. Ooh, eye front. Let me see how it compares. Yeah, she has very oval eyes. I think I'm going to do the thing with her where you have like part of it's black out and then part of it's just the white. I think it's going to be all black. It's just my style. My pet peeves and character galleries that they're made by one person. They could have hired many artists that share their personality and view on characters. That would have been neat. That would have been a neat thing. Maybe do that in future games though. But I did think it was cool, still cool to see a lot of like different takes from Ko Takeuchi, the main character creator and designer for WarioWare. From the start, they've had the same guy making characters and designs for it. I think that's cool. Let me move this dot over a bit. There we go. Let me just see how that looks rendered. Yeah, that's fine. Oh, I drew the eye that I need to some layer. 1 second. There we go. Oh, and this needs to connect better. What is that? Oh, it's probably part of the eye front. And Get Together, they have intro cutscene, but not outro cut. Yeah, that my one complaint is we don't get a closure to Cat and Anna's thing. I guess we're just supposed to assume they fought off Leo. But he's like I guess the main side characters they add are him, the like developer god that looks like God but has the Wario face. It's not technically a new character, but it's the biggest thing that Pyoro's gotten so far. So now like he's sort of part of the crew, but only as a video game character. Though I'm sure that could change. I'm pretty next if he'd just be there for no reason because it's WarioWare. But yeah, Leo might be fun. I kind of envision him like even after he's beaten as like a bratty, like Gary Oak style rival to Cat and Anna. Like, oh, you think you're such a good ninja? Well, look what I can do. Like a show off. go. All right, 40 minutes to the direct, and probably about 30, 35 minutes. Like when we have like 5 minutes before, I'm going to switch over. I'll close the drawing and switch over to the browser window so we can just make sure it's running and get it. And just chat. I'll have you guys. I have the way I usually have it is I have the view you're seeing here is my tablet where we're doing the drawing, and then I have my laptop behind it, and I have the chat open. I have like the stream open or like an app that lets me see the chat. Okay, and let's take care of the eyebrows where we're at it. Lulu eyebrow front. This will be pretty easy. Let me see. Do they usually? All right. Are they always slanted down? No, they're more neutral when she's in a. So I'm gonna rotate this a little bit after I draw it. Blue eyebrow back. Let me try again. Get the same horizontal level. All right. How do? Okay, I drew her eyes as her irises as too narrow. I'm going to need to expand those a little. Actually, wait, no. Okay, when she's from that 3/4 angle, they're more narrow. So, also make it a little chunkier. Oh wait, have I made it? Oh, I might have made these lines too thick. Now that I think about it, let me go and change everything. I'm going for a 6 on everyone. That does look kind of wrong though. I'll adjust that later. Okay, where are we now? Okay, we'll come back to that. I can compare it to like the line thickness of the other character models later. The main thing is when you have them like at the size they're each supposed to be, because she's definitely one of the tinier characters. I think WarioWare could have been better if they continued the Wario Land series. They're dependent to each other. Yeah, I'm not a Wario Land fanatic like I am WarioWare, but it is a good series. I think I've played every entry except 3. I didn't beat 1 either, so I need to go back and complete 1 and 3 someday. But it's a fun series. They just lay dormant for a while for some reason. I guess I know Shake It didn't sell well. That just maybe scared them. But I think it's been long enough, and now people know Wario from all the Mario stuff, and now Get It Together is doing very well, so they could probably afford to do some more stuff to get by name recognition again. And I would love to. I don't think it'll happen, but I'd love to see like WarioWare Land, where it's a side scroller, but it incorporates a bunch of the characters. Like it'd be ridiculous to help to be able to play as all of them, but like pick some playable based on play style, and then have the others show up in like the background. Or there's like gameplay elements in some way. That'd be cool. All right, let's see. Okay, so draw this and then make it a little thicker. Try again. Oh, missed that part. Okay, that's pretty good. We can probably just duplicate it for the back. Let's narrow it a little bit because it's the angle. They reference a lot of WarioWare, but Wario Land got overshadowed for Combine. It does feel forgotten. I wish it wasn't. Alright, Alright, so now let's figure out the bow. I'm probably going to make that... I should probably make it one... Actually, no, you know what? The front view, it looks like they're separated. I'm probably going to make them separate for each like ribbon side. It's going to be behind everything, every part of her head. Low, bow, front. Let me just see how it... Okay, it's not super pointy at the end, so I'm going to need to blunt it a bit when I draw. No, it needs to be a little more tapered. Just gotta hit that bound. Gotta hit that right look in the shape. No, that's not right either. Nope. Nope. Alright, that's pretty good. Let's clean it up a little bit. Particularly here. I feel like Wario Land eccentric put on platform in general will surpass Mario series. I mean that Wario is more entertaining, and oh yeah, Wario is a better character than Mario. I say that with no, because Mario doesn't really have much, because he can't talk much. He just doesn't. There's not much to him. He's just a nice guy. Which is why I'm curious. Because they're doing that, we are getting a new Mario movie, and they're gonna have to give him some sort of personality traits, and the movie's very secretive. But I know that like Nintendo is very, unlike the live action one, Nintendo's being very closely involved with it to try and make sure that at least is truer to the spirit. So like, I'm betting they had meetings with a bunch of Nintendo people about like, so this is how we think Mario's character should be, and they have to get like final approval. We'll see. We'll see. And I doubt it, but it'd be awesome if like Mario spin-off series got referenced in the movie. Like I think that I would love. I don't think we're gonna see WarioWare, but I bet we see Wario. I would love to see some Donkey Kong representation. That's the other series that I'm really fond, like super fond of. Has had new entry in some time, and I keep hoping with each new direct, especially because there were rumors or this year. Hope we get a new country or something. Previous, yeah, they don't really have the Mario cameo microgames. I wonder if that was. I do wonder if there's been some factors where Nintendo harps like, hey, you can't go out this way with it, because one of people's big complaints the moment the demo drop we get together is that like, yeah, like the voice acting and cutscenes was overall reduced compared to Gold, but like the other characters were still speaking full sentences for the most part. But Wario just like he'll have text saying like, yes, my game is complete, but all you hear him say is yes, and he's that way the entire game, even though they let him, have full sentences and conversations in Gold. And I do wonder if somebody at Nintendo was like, we don't like these guys to say much. So, I'm just like, why? Especially if you're scared about giving Mario personality. Wario has a personality. He's a douchebag. So, and you've got people doing full voices for him. You've got multiple, because Gold and not Smooth, Get Together, excuse me, was dubbed in multiple languages. So, like, yeah, you had Charles Martinet doing it as usual, but you had like a dedicated Japanese voice for Wario, and I think French and Italian and Spanish and some other stuff. So it's like, man, and get together. You got a lot of guys for Wario, but you didn't let him say much. Though I guess he says sentences when a lot of the voice samples in Get Together don't come from the cutscenes, but they come from when you're playing, like in between games, when you win, when you lose, when you get a game over, when you shoot, when you retry and stuff like that. So there's still a fair amount, just not in the most obvious place. All right, hang on, let me see what I need to do next. All right, let me see how this. All right, there's a gap there. Direct wait has started. That's exciting. I will load it up in about 20 minutes. We've got 25 minutes left. And Zigo's like, they haven't. Yeah, that's the weird thing. They did a promotional trailer in English and Japanese where Wario's fully talking and like, you go do this thing, you go do this, and my game is so this. And I'm like, okay, so you're not against him talking when in promo, but the actual game there's something iffy. It's very. There's some very odd creative decisions made. I also. I have video of it on the channel. It's probably like 5 years old at this point, but I did meet Charles Martinet at a convention, had him do a voice message to my brother as Mario, and yeah, I just got the vibe, and everything else I've seen, like he just seems like a really cool guy, and he seems really happy and grateful to be a part of like so many fandoms and childhoods by performing these characters. And I've also, you can see like his like demo reel and stuff, and other games he's done. He's done voices. He's a dragon in Skyrim. He's Clink's dad in the PS3 Ratchet and Clank. Like, he's a legit good actor, and so it's just so a shame that like most of the time they're like, you can just do these sort of grunts, and you can tell it's good. Like, I love him as Luigi too. So I'm sure he must have been so happy to finally do a ton of Wario speech in Gold, and I'm sure he was disappointed when Get Together was like, nope, back to the one words. All right, let's see. I think we should get started on her. I can adjust these later to be more in line with the heights here, but I'm going to get to her body. Wario lives in two universes. Yes, the Mushroom Kingdom and the Diamond City universe. Who knows? No wonder that's why they have such different vibes. I still wonder if it's canon. Like, does Donkey Kong live in a different universe, or is he just like a? Because here's the thing, when I was younger, and I'm showing my age here, I used to mod on a Donkey Kong fan site called the DK Vine. It still exists. I definitely recommend the forum. No, the site and the podcast. The forum is kind of toxic, but they came with the idea that this was back when Rare was making games for Nintendo, and they handled Donkey Kong and Banjo and stuff. And they established with Diddy Kong Racing that Banjo-Kazooie and Conker's Bad Fur Day were in the same world, because those were characters. And it was just funny, because Conker was going to be family-friendly like Banjo, and they obviously changed that. But it was funny to think that by proxy they were part of Mario as well. But it's kind of a moot point because those are both dead series at this point for the time being. I would certainly be happy. I was happy about Banjo and Smash. I know it's never gonna happen. Conquer would be cool for Smash, but I'd settle for a new proper game too, and not that like Young Conquer Hollow BS they did. Two comments. Do you think Get Together is getting stale quick? I honestly was a little disappointed with Get Together. I need a chance to play Get Together's multiplayer before I pass full judgment on it. I think it's a really fun WarioWare game, but I don't think my main complaint is that it lacks inside content compared to a lot of the previous ones. I know I had a cousin's kid who was playing, who I showed earlier this summer, Gold, and he was obsessed with the studio mode, recording your own voice. When I told him there's a new one coming out, he was like, "Does it have this feature?" And I'm like, "No, the Switch doesn't have a microphone." He's like, "Oh." But I'd have to sit down and like do a full ranking. I think Get It Together is maybe on the lower end of core Wario games, but I like it a lot. I think the only one I dislike that I played was Game & Wario. I mean, that's more of a mixed bag because stuff like Gamer was fun. I never touched Snapped. I heard it sucked, and I heard it was so bite-sized. Like, I think they scaled back on it when they realized how limited that camera was. So, but I will have to, I'd say like the lower end is Game & Wario, Snapped, and to some degree Mega Party games because a lot of it's just a port. It's mainly you play for the multiplayer that's fun. And I would say Get It Together, Gold, and Touch are in the middle, and the original Twisted and Smooth Moves are my favorite. Oh, DIY is a favorite too, even though it's kind of a dead game because you have to do workarounds if you want to share custom materials for it now, and there's not as much of an audience for it. And that's why I wish it would come back on the Switch, even if it was a remaster or a sequel, but I don't know. The studio thing was a blast. I used to breathe so hard to the mic. Yeah, I did. It was fun watching YouTubers do stuff with it. Like, I think you might have seen I did an upload of the Reanimate collab with clips from Vine Sauce and Nitro Rad. Vine Sauce is a fun streamer. Nitro Rad does great YouTube reviews. And Nitro actually saw it and loved it, which is really cool. I recommend his work. He has good critiques. Snap DIY and Get It Together are the only games without pure games. Oh, okay. Well, no, I was about to say that's the mark of a bad Wario game then, but I love DIY. Let's see. I wish it was better. They could have done more. Considering the bizarre game history, they don't have enough juice for an entertaining WarioWare game. Feel disappointed. Well, one interesting thing is, if you prefer the older games, it was a different team that did the original and Twisted, and then they went on to create Rhythm Heaven, and then I believe they were absorbed or like merged with another developer, and the WarioWare development duties was handed to Intelligent Systems, the Paper Mario Fire Emblem guys. I think from Touched onward, they've handled all the entries. So I could definitely see people who are like OG WarioWare. The thing that stands out to me the most is not even the gameplay in the first two, but the style of music. Like that kind of compressed warbly sound and like the echo effect added to a lot of the voice samples. It was a very distinct feel, and they kind of glossed and normalized it a bit in later entries. Let's see. Oh, what are your thoughts on the Wii U? Do you think it deserves less hate? Man, I don't know. I was ultimately indifferent to the Wii U. I think the only one thing that gives it a big plus for me is that it birthed a Tropical Freeze, which is not only my favorite Donkey Kong game, but one of my favorite games of all time. But that's a moot point because you can get a better version of it on Switch. Welcome back, Cuba Rigel. And Splatoon, I like Splatoon, but I'm a casual fan. I played a bit of the original and own it, but I didn't bother buying the sequel. I rented it and played for a while, but it was a little too much of the same. We'll see where they go with 3. I know it's a different setting, but we'll have to see what the gameplay is like. I think most of the games I liked on Wii U are now on Switch with more features. I think the only one, it's not even like I want it, but I'd be curious to see how they do it because I wasn't a fan, was Star Fox Zero. But I don't know how likely that is given its reception, both sales and critic-wise. I think Nintendo might be okay with forgetting about it. Best and worst solo games in Game & Wario. I liked Gamer, obviously, which I'm glad they brought it back in Gold. And also, you can't really play it anymore, but that Miiverse sketch one was such dumb fun. Worst. I did not like Mike's, which is that 2-player, like, tap your fingers to the rhythm or something. It was... And I'm trying to remember. I don't think I liked Cat and Anna and Crygor's ones either, like Patchwork, and I don't remember what Crygor's was. And Kuba asks, have you heard of EAS alarms? No, I haven't. What are those? Actually, let me get back to the torso. We've only got 18 minutes left on my clock before the direct starts. That's exciting. Okay, let's see. She kind of has... Okay, so there's kind of like a fold. And how far does the... Okay. Game & Wario is a breaking point. Yeah, Game & Wario was not the right direction to take it in. So much charm came from the micro games in the format of that, and to lose that was a big blow. And I think part of it is that it wasn't even really initially intended to be a Wario game. It was, they made a bunch of tech demos and wanted some way to tie them together, and they're like, well, let's take Wario from micro games to mini games, and it's just, the lack of passion kind of showed in the final product. And Gold, I'm wondering with Gold, it was like they could spend less money by just recycling old micro games to come up with a new, still technically a new game, and then they could gauge interest in that. And I guess I thought I had read it didn't sell great, especially because it was such a late 3DS game. But maybe they took that into account, and that could let them green light get it together. And that's selling gangbusters. And so even though it's lower on my totem pole of Wario games, I'm still really enjoying it for one, and it makes me very excited to see what the future holds for the franchise. Okay, that's pretty good. Scuba says, I don't exactly know myself, but the sound that plays while Metro appears on TV screen in a world end class. Oh, like storm warnings and stuff. Okay, I know that I would get it for storm alerts when I was a kid watching broadcast. He would be like, boop, 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 just play a text across. Oh my God, my scalp. Is that a WarioWare tuned reference? Because I think that's Mona's first line. It's like, oh my God, my scalp. I can't quote all of WarioWare tuned from memory, but there are highlights that the later you go, the easier it is for me to remember stuff. Okay, let me see. Okay. So what are you just got an interest about the EAS? Is it EAS? Let me scroll up. Yeah, EAS alarms. 'Cause yeah, that's a thing to look into, especially like the criteria for them. Okay, let's see. My country back in 1940 had one of the most terrifying EAS alarms. Ooh, what country are you from, by the way? Okay, that's pretty good. Poland, cool. Get Together's cutscene is related to the microgame theme. Before it shows a different theme that doesn't match with the set, like Mona's cutscene is pursues and their theme is strange. Yeah, typically the outside of 9-volt often having Nintendo stuff. Trying to think. Yeah, Cat and Nana have animals with Leo. Yeah, they did do that. That is a nice touch and get it together. Because like Orbulan's hosting the show where he collects all his Earth culture. Krygor's making flattery robots that don't work with them. 9-volt's playing. Well, I wouldn't say 9-volt's a little off base because he's not. Nintendo doesn't. Well, I was about to say Nintendo doesn't do augmented reality, but they were involved with Pokemon Go, so there you go. But I don't think Switch has any. Well, I don't want to say things I can't say back. I don't know if Switch has any augmented reality games because I don't think it has a camera. Don't quote me on that. Okay, Cuba, I think I'm good on not experiencing anxiety with EAS, but that is a neat thing to reference. Let's see. Only about 13 minutes left. So probably in about 8 or so minutes, I'm going to close the drawing software and we'll watch the direct together on this stream. Let's see. I'm going to do one more bathroom trip. I know I've been doing that a lot, but I had a soda and that stuff goes through you, so give me 1 minute. Back. Okay, let's see. Imagine if there was a tier list in the Infinity time on my games like Wario Infinity running from the boulder or Jimmy T's soft ones at infinite power. Tier list on the Infinity time. I'm curious about what trying to think about when we get Infinity time. Like no time, no like countdown bomb. Is that ever a thing? All right. Let's see. Let's do her legs real quick. She's got stubby little legs. Oh, sorry, didn't start where I wanted it to. Okay, so I'm going to make this a separate line so I can color it white and have it blend in with the pants. Let me see how... Okay. I'm doing the shoes a little different. Zeke Audrey, that was a good talk. I'm glad to see you behind. I hope we meet again. Bye. Oh, thanks, Zeke Audrey. It was my pleasure. Thanks for joining the stream and having a fun, spirited conversation about the franchise. And you can watch this and archive this later, especially since we're going to be doing the 10 minutes till direct. So 5 more minutes of drawing, then I'm going to load up the direct and we'll just chat till it starts. I need to get the shape right. Need to flat the bottom of it a little more. There we go. One of the vibes of the arm is basically you're not getting out here alive. That sounds terrifying, man. Let's see. That sounds like horror movie material. has a vibe, but it sounds happy at the same time. Ooh, that's spooky. Oh, did any of you guys ever see the cartoon I did with Ukumi Nakamura? That Japanese lady who's like, he's spooky. I did for Halloween 2 or 3 years ago, and I added it to her on Twitter, and she retweeted it. She loved it, and that just made me so happy because she's just. Oh, let's see. Hope for DLC and work together, changing characters. Yeah. I would love actual skins to be added because so many of the characters have had alternate outfits or versions, like Jimmy P or especially Mona. Classic Wario overalls, and then I come up with new stuff for the others who haven't had it, or like 9-volt without his helmet. That'd be a fun one. Maybe 5-volt. 5-volt had, because she had a different design when she first appeared in Game Wario. It was more of a dress, and then she switched to like the hoodie, shorts, and apron. So you could have that. Jimmy could have like Jimmy P, his skiing outfit, his workout outfit, like a lot of stuff. He has multiple workout outfits. He has one in DIY, and now he has another in Get Together. Cat and Anna could have. They have like school outfits for a little bit in Twisted, and I'm trying to think if they've had other outfits since then. Ashley has her pajamas. A bunch of them have Halloween outfits for that Ashley promo video. Like Cricket was Frankenstein, 9-volt was a vampire. I think Cat was a lion, Anna was a ghost, Red was a mummy, Ashley was a classic witch with the pointy hat and stuff. Yeah, there are possibilities. Or Beyond could be the human disguise. That'd be funny. Okay, you know what? I think we're good. So for on the drawing side. So let's close this and load up the browser. 1 second, guys. And let me add the chat back to it. 1 second. Drawing. Copy the chat. There we go. All right, I think we're good. All right, 6 minutes until Nintendo thingy. Let's see who's going to. Yep, let's see who the final Smash character is and what other, in terms of either new content or new games. Can I get rid of the annotate? There we go. Let me get myself all set up. Alright, I got volume on. Is volume on this? Yes. Let me test, do a sound check. Eggman. Eggman would be cool. Let me turn it down a little bit on my end. Eggman has been, people have wanted to see. I wanted to see Tails and Knuckles. Knuckles was deconfirmed as an assist trophy, and technically Tails is... I only Tails deconfirmed because he runs around the looping green hill, but you also had Toon Link in that Spirit Tracks level, and so they just made it where if you play that level with Toon Link, one of the other pirates replaces him, so Tails could happen, and Eggman could happen. Shadow's deconfirmed too. He would probably just be an Echo Fighter anyway. But yeah, let me open up the chat again on my other monitor. Eggman Nega, they could do, they have Eggman, he could be, sometimes color palettes are inspired by other characters, like Peach had a Daisy color for a while, so you could definitely do that, but they'd have to add Eggman first. Give us Karate Joe for Smash, yes, Rhythm Heaven at last, that'd be funny. I just kind of hope that, like, since this is the final character, they do something that's, like, going to get people talking, like, even, like Steve, like, even if it's not someone that everybody was excited for, it's one that, like, people were like, can you believe they pulled that off? Like, people could believe I told them beforehand. I doubt it's not a character because Sega's... No, Sega's not owned by Microsoft. They're a company. They're a Japanese company that fused with a... They fused with Sammy and they own Atlas. You're thinking Rare is owned by Microsoft and Minecraft is owned by Microsoft. So technically, we have two Microsoft characters with first Banjo and then Steve. But no, Sega... I don't think we have any other Sega characters other than Sonic, so maybe Sega's due for another one, but... all right, 3 minutes to go. And once it starts, let me know how the volume balance is, like if you want me to turn my mic down. Yeah, I do not want it to be another Fire Emblem character. It would just be so tone deaf to have like this end of an era be like. I'm someone who likes Fire Emblem and a lot of its reps in Smash, but is both in terms of like built into the base game of Smash 4 and Ultimate and DLC. You know, we've got enough for now. I wouldn't be against like when we get another Smash like 3 or 4 years from now, add another one because we'll probably have another. There's a lot of room for Three Houses has as we have Byleth, but there'll probably be a new Fire Emblem by then, and they can add something from that. I'm calling it to be the Hollow Knight. Who knows? I just don't think at this point we're going to get an indie character playable. You know, people want Shantae. She was a Mii fighter. Same with Sans, Shovel Knight, Cuphead. So we will see. 2 minutes and counting. Hopefully the parrot's not too loud in the background. He's just excited too. He just wants to see. Fun fact, he relates to Nintendo because I named him Squawks after the Donkey Kong Country parrot because they have the same colors. And he squawks. You can hear him squawking right now. I love him, but he's... Oh, wait, is it starting? Oh, no, it did something. Roughly 40 minutes of information. Yeah, I am guessing this is gonna. I will say I'm betting we're gonna get some more like one last bit of Metroid Dread info dump. Another Earthbound character. Yeah. There are other characters they could give some love to. Duster. I know Flint was one that people wanted back in the Brawl days before we got, or around the time we got Lucas. I know we're not gonna get. We're probably not going to get... Paula is part of Nexus Final Smash now. Jeff's an assist. Does Pooh appear alongside Paula? I don't remember because I don't main Ness or Lucas much. I know Kumatora and Boney are with Lucas in Ultimate. They did a lot of those nice forces. All right, 1 minute. Guys, I got to say, it's been a fun ride, but this is going to end Smash speculation for a while until they announce a new game someday. But I don't think they will for a while, and I think Sakurai just wants a long, long break. So it's been fun doing all this speculation, and whoever it is, you know, even if we don't like it, remember, it's just a game, and there's already a lot of cool characters in it already. And who knows what other game announcements we're going to get. I think I know 2 from these leaks. I will say them if they appear that I heard about it. You know, Waluigi. It could be Waluigi to end this era. It's like, all right, less than 1 minute. I am excited. May the best one win. Yep. Every character's gonna make somebody happy. For me, it was Banjo. Yep, here we go. I'm gonna be very surprised if Smash isn't the first thing. Yep, COVID thing, something to change. We get it. Are we starting with Smash or are we starting with something else? Oh, we're starting with Smash. Alright, it's a castle. It's probably some medieval game. Dark Souls. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, it's Monster Hunter. Okay. Yeah, Monster Hunter is going to be the last character. That... maybe? I bet they're trying to fake us out. They're trying to make it look like a new game. I know we're not going to play as this. Yeah, the Hunter's going to show up and... No, it's not Castlevania, it's Monster Hunter because... Come on, show us the Hunter. Oh. Oh, it's DLC for Rise. Okay, no, they're not starting with Smash. Maybe they're saving it for the end. Okay. I didn't play Rise, I'm not a Monster Hunter guy, but that's a ways off, so it'll probably be a pretty meaty expansion. I know Rise has done quite well. They even said it themselves. Massive expandong. They really had me. I really thought we were going to get Monster Hunter Smash. That'd be another one. Be like, okay, well, it's a big deal. So.
For today's Nintendo Direct. What you just saw was the first trailer for Monster Hunter Rise: Sunbreak, the massive expansion for Monster Hunter.
That didn't look like the architecture I'm used to with Rise. I know Rise they went for like feudal Asia, and this looks more. This looks like Dark Souls.
Many new elements that will enhance the experience for players of Monster Hunter Rise.
It's a new monster going to. Okay, yeah. I don't know my Monster Hunter, but that wasn't one I recognized. I know Rathalos. There's kind of like a raptor type. That was in stories. But I'm not an expert.
Monster Hunter Rise: Sunbreak is scheduled to release as paid DLC.
I'm guessing we'll get more info on that in future Direct, because that was a teaser.
Please stay tuned for more information in the future. All right, let's see our first batch of Nintendo Switch headlines.
Smash.
Party during the
Oh,
day.
Super Mario Party. Yeah, that's coming out in a month, so we're probably gonna get some. That's another thing we could get some. Wait, what's I call it? Did I call it Superstars? Oh, yeah, I call it Super Mario Party. Yeah, Superstars is the remake. I wish it had. I'm with people who say I wish it had more boards, but I do like. I would like an excuse to like. I think it's cool that we get to remaster a bunch of the classic games from the N64 era.
Between two islands and Yoshi's tropical island. Toadette's got the star.
Oh wait, did they say that's a new island? I mean, that's a new. There are new boards too, so it's partially a new game.
Party day and night in Horrorland.
Okay, that's interesting. It's a mix of new and old, I guess.
Swipe stars from unsuspecting players.
And so one's Yoshi inspired and one's Luigi's Mansion inspired.
Mount minigames and play in minigame only courses. Compete against players worldwide for the longest win streak in
I was gonna say it has online, but it's for a win streak. I hope it has online, where they patch it in later.
Mount minigames will have 7 courses available.
Okay, so it's just minigames. None of the yeah, the minigames are my favorite part, not the board game. That's cool. Oh yes! All right, smart move, smart move. Hopefully it's as full featured as what they added to Super Mario Party. That might get me to pick it up because my brother likes to play it, so it's always more fun when you play with real people.
A new RPG is
New RPG. Okay, so is this a sequel or is this a new IP?
Welcome to Voice of Cards.
Voice of Cards. That's new. So the Oddball Trio sits out in the Queen's quest to slay the dragon. Oddball Trio? They don't look oddball, they look anime. That's cute. Is this from Square? Kind of gives me Bravely Default vibes.
At the Queen's behest.
I called it.
Okay,
so it's a
fantastical journey to slay.
So it's a card deck when you're. Is it all cards? I'm curious about how this works.
Everything in this realm.
This dude sounds like he did some drugs before the direct. Oh, it's all cards. Okay, I'm not big on cards, so but this'll have an audience.
Towns and environments in this fresh take on tabletop RPGs.
My brother probably likes it because he plays a lot of D&D.
Based card battles where your skills and a little bit of luck will determine.
Is there gonna be like an actual story and dialogue goes tied to this? I know for talking Square, I'm excited for Triangle Strategy. If that's what it's called, the new thing from the Octopath guys. And I still need to play Octopath. Oh! I heard about this. This is Yoko Taro's next game because he's not doing another Nier yet, and I still need to play Nier. Okay, so yeah, there's gonna be some. I think this was announced. It's coming out real soon. Yeah, it looks so simple. So of course that I didn't know what systems it was coming to, but there'll be an audience for that.
Become a hero.
Oh, Disco Elysium. I need to, I have this on PC. I played like a half hour of it. I need to sit down. I should stream it or something. It seems really cool. It's not about, it has stats and such, but it's not about combat really. It's almost like a point and click adventure, like choose your own adventure thing. Yeah, the card thing looks okay, nothing huge. I don't think it's meant to be huge, especially because they probably put together in a short time, but it could be a novelty thing. Disco Elysium, I've heard how accolades, and it seems very well written when I play it. So that could be a future stream, the PC version. But yeah, it makes sense to be on Switch because it's like a lot of pre-render stuff. It's not graphics intensive. It'd be cool to have this on the go.
Directly impacting how the story progresses. What sort of detective will you become?
It looks kind of Telltale. Yeah, part of it, conversations, the decision making is kind of Telltale BioWare-ish, but it has different. You're like freely walking around. There is like an inventory, and your stats determine how you like negotiate and do different things. Like you'll be good at some stuff, but bad at others. More Hoverboards. I played it. I didn't do the DLC. I'm wondering which characters they will add. I'm surprised Pura and her assistant weren't playable. Or maybe the little BB-8 guy would be playable. I don't think he was. I think they added a regular Guardian. Oh, is this a new character? Who's gonna save him?
And about that courageous friend of yours, it seems I owe him as well. Yeah.
Wait, does this take place after?
You know, you're pretty good for a little kid.
We'd better partner up on this, don't you think?
Who is this? Oh, they're not showing the characters yet. They're just. This looks like more story content. That'd be cool. I actually really, because that was my favorite thing about Age of Calamity was it was a lot more story reliant than Hyrule. Not Hyrule. my one complaint about Breath of the Wild was how there's less story than other Zeldas. And then it was helpful too. Did he get blown up? What happened? Oh, it's just promos. Are you gonna give us details? There we go. Oh, they're doing it! Yeah, they're doing Pura, and is it Robbie? I was just saying they should have been playable. Oh yeah, Egg Boy. Okay, so they're showing that. Okay, that's the main detail I wanted. Not the Egg Boy. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I didn't read the whole thing. Dang it.
Ready?
Oh, Chocobo Racing. That was a PS1 game. Are they? Is this a?
Start your engines and get set.
It's a new one. Okay, Chocobo GP. It'd be cool if it has
Final Fantasy characters like Chocobo and Gilgamesh to be the first.
I think it's funny. It's not going to have. Oh, is that Vivi or is it Black Mage?
Edge out the competition by
I like if it had some actual like mainline series characters.
Magical stones called Magicites are contained inside items.
Yeah,
Collect these throughout courses.
I know Chocobo Racing exists in the PS1, but it was a game I've literally never played or heard people talk about. So I guess
Acquire
it wasn't great.
Magicites of the same
Maybe this will be
element
better.
to cast even more powerful spells.
Okay, the upgrade. I like that you have the Diddy Kong Racing item
Racer
upgrades.
also has a special ability.
It's a great
Use it at
great
the
idea.
right time to
Conserve your
turn the tables.
and super abilities. And on my tablet's being crazy. Well, don't crap out on me, guys. Or not you. The. Hang on. Reload. Hey guys, save me a second. Give me a second. Alright, so we know about Chocobo Racing. Let's see what's next. I wonder if they're either going to save Smash for the end or if we're not going to get it. If they're not ready. Come on, come on. I'm so sorry. Give it a second. Oh, I don't want to have to cancel this. Try closing some other app and see if it helps the RAM. No. Close everything else. Hope nobody got nerfed from the Sakurai percents. Let me try reloading again. Guys, we might have to call it if I can't get this to work. I'm so sorry. Are they doing Smash? Let me pull it up on... Left shucks. I'm sorry, guys. This is you might have it. I might have to call it though. I'm gonna have to pull it up on my other computer to keep watching. Oh, it's new 3D Kirby. Okay, guys, we're gonna call it. Oh, wait, no. Alright, look at that. Look at that. Let me back... Can I back up a bit? I'm gonna back up a bit. Okay. Load, will you?
Here.
There we go. Okay.
What did you think? Before
Come on. Okay, I don't know what's going on now.
we show you our next video, we have some news about the last
Oh,
fighter
it's not ready?
for the Super Smash Bros. Ultimate game.
Dang it. No, I don't want to skip over this.
Mr. Sakurai, the game's director, will reveal this fighter. In
Oh,
the
they're not revealing it yet. Okay, dang it. All right, it's just not working, guys. I think we're gonna have to tune out. I'm so sorry, but thank you to everybody who has tuned in today. Enjoyed the stream.
Sakurai presents video
Yourself
on
and
October